Excellent. We're going to shoot in a couple of seconds. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Hello. Don't forget to subscribe, man.
Hi guys, welcome to the podcast, weTalk Ajax. Today to discuss a couple of topics for the XtraTalk. No game talk today, no games today for Ajax and any other Eredivisie teams. It's very windy outside. It's not very safe. So the league games have been cancelled. Today to discuss with me a couple of points for Ajax, about Ajax. Papimento.
What's up, dude?
How are you?
Good. You?
Yeah, I'm good. So no games today? Do you think it was the right decision?
Yeah, right decision. For the safety of people. Always good to make the decision beforehand. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, because you remember the situation with AZ?
Exactly.
With the stadium, exactly. Yeah. So the roof just fell and the weather was a little bit the same.
Exactly. So better for safety reasons. And,
I mean, precautions, you have to be sure. It's better to be safe than sorry. So.
And you never get like amazing games with these kind of weathers, like wind.
But fun games, maybe fun games,
Fun games, yes, but maybe not good games for Ajax. So,
all right. Yeah, that's true. Ajax wants to play combination soccer or football. Anyways, moving on. I want to talk to you about a couple of things today. Mm-hmm. First of all, the injuries that Ajax are having. How is that impacting the team, the performance of the team? I want to talk to you about Dest, the transfer talks about him possibly moving to Bayern Munich in the summer. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk to you a little bit about Vitesse. We're playing this Wednesday, the quarterfinals of the Dutch Cup. I would like to know what you think of that game, which players you would choose to play that game as well. So let's start from the beginning. The injuries. Very interesting situation we're having right now with Ajax. A lot of injuries, especially the most important players, the players that are starting always. We have Veldman, we have Babel, which seems to be okay now. Promes, Ziyech, of course, our star player this season. Do you think it's a coincidence that all these injuries are happening with Ajax? Because you could say this is the second time it's happening this season. First we had in around November, at the end of the first half of the season. And now we're having a lot right after the winter break. What do you think is happening right now? Do you think it has to do with something?
I cannot give a clear opinion on that. And I'm going to explain why. Okay, last year when we played Champions League with De Ligt, Frankie de Jong, etc., we also played a lot of matches and we didn't see this many injuries. So it's hard to exactly pinpoint what this season is doing to the players. But you are noticing a lot of players getting injured. And also, they're usually the players that play the most matches. So maybe Ajax needs to do something about more about like checking the fitness of the players better, or getting more rest in between games, putting more youth in to rotate the first 11 a little bit more, because in the first half it was a lot the same players playing the matches, and it started early, with the qualifying for the Champions League. So and I think we're seeing now the results of playing every match the same team.
Yeah, we see that Ten Hag, which we discussed also in previous podcasts, we see that Ten Hag likes to play with the same players. If he has like 20 players he can choose from, he would choose 11. If those 11 are playing at a certain decent level and they win their games, then Ten Hag is not the kind of coach that starts changing anything, which you can say is obvious, is logic in certain ways. But at the other hand, that Ajax plays a lot of games, what you're saying, and it also can have an impact on the fitness and also on the injury of certain players.
It also has to do with the philosophy of Ajax. I think as an Ajax coach, it's not like a big club like Manchester City or Manchester United that it's about playing the best 11 the whole time. No, Ajax's philosophy is that you also train youth. So you have to give more chances to youth to get into the pitch. And look, I'm very impressed with Eiting, for instance. Came back from an injury, and when you see him play, you would say he's ready to play in the first 11. So why not use him more often? Things like that. I mean, we saw Gravenberch and Eiting only in December playing really like full matches.
Well, actually, we saw Eiting more after the winter break, but Gravenberch before the winter.
As a substitute, you mean?
No, Eiting actually was playing a lot because of his injury, trying to get his fitness level up. But he actually started playing really after the winter break or coming in. Because before that he was playing for the youth of Ajax. But Traore, for instance.
Traore, Ekkelenkamp, they didn't get many chances in the first half.
True.
And we've seen more of them now after the winter break than before.
But now they don't have a choice, right? Because we have so many injuries, you have to...
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, of course it's Ten Hag's schuld.
You mean his fault?
It's his fault that some things go wrong with the injury department because you're not bringing into enough youth in the games that require that. You can fill up those shoes by youth. Traore, he's been doing so well with young Ajax before. It took him a long time to get a chance.
But even when Traore came in for the first squad of Ajax, he's always been playing well.
Yeah, he's playing well. And also, I don't think Tadic has been, even though his stats dispute that, I don't think Ajax has been playing with Tadic as number 9 the same as last year. Tadic is not the same as last year.
Okay. But let's go back to the point at hand, the discussion. You think what you're saying, basically, if I'm correct, please correct me if I'm not correct about this, or if I'm making a mistake. You're saying that the injuries to a certain level is not
coincidence.
Coincidence, because you think that Ten Hag used a lot the same players throughout this season.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So going to the press conference that they always give on a Friday, Ten Hag said for the match today against Utrecht, which is not going to happen. He said that because they asked him, of course, a couple of questions about, the injuries, etc., etc. And he said, which was interesting, he said, well, first of all, there were two things he said. The first one was...
They're tired?
No. He said there are a lot of games. The calendar is so busy that there's no time for rest for those players. The second thing he said there's also a mental issue involved, or a mental factor involved. And the mental factor is that the disappointment after not reaching the next round of the Champions League might have had such an impact on players mentally, but you cannot
feel it in your body.
That you feel it, and that it might work. Like causing something in your body, and that might have an impact also on getting or being more injury prone. Okay. However, that's very hard. He said that's very hard to really conclude about these kind of things. But that's something he said, which I want to ask you. Those two things he said. What are your opinions about this? So the first one being
too many
busy calendar, being too busy. Too many matches.
To be honest, I don't think that's an excuse Ajax can use, because if there's a league that can really use that excuse, it's Liverpool and England and the Premier League, because they play so many more games.
Yeah, because they always go 100, 120%.
Exactly. So their pace and the tempo of those games are already ridiculous, and they play it week in, week out, and they're December and January months.
And they play even more matches than Ajax.
Exactly. No winter break. So can we really argue that maybe it's his fault?
But let's bring it.
That he didn't rotate enough. Okay, but he doesn't say that, because there are enough matches where Ten Hag didn't even use his third substitute. So what are we talking about? Seriously.
So you don't agree with him on this one?
I don't agree with him whatsoever on this. No, because he should also look in the mirror and see the mistakes he made, so for the players to be more fit.
You know what's something very interesting as well? So there were a couple of injuries in November, and we were all saying, okay, let's, a couple of games to go, and then we have a winter break. The players will be refreshed. They went to Qatar, came back, and we thought, okay, you know what? We're ready for the second half of the season. And then after two games, I think, against the second game was against Sparta, I think. Anyways, the game that caused a lot of injury. You saw a lot of games. You saw a lot of players like Babel, Veldman, and Ziyech going out. which was a shock for everyone. Not because it's not. You cannot get injured during a game, or you cannot get 3 injuries during a game, which is something extreme already. But that it happened so quickly after the winter break. Why is that?
I don't know.
Also because
if they trained very hard. At Qatar.
Because also one more thing, we didn't have any games in between the weekends.
Did they get enough rest? Should they have played against Brugge in the friendly match? Those friendly matches are usually more used for youth players to show the coach what's going on.
No, but you
just
have
to keep
play
the rhythm open.
Exactly.
But don't let them play like 80 minutes, or let them play 70 minutes. Let them play 45 minutes, for instance, and give them more rest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have such a busy schedule, do you really need that friendly match? That's also a question.
That's true.
Yourself.
But during a winter break, you do have to work on your stamina and fitness level. So you have to play at least one game to get into a rhythm before going into the league game and starting again. We're happy though because Blind
is back.
Blind is all good. So he's now back in the squad. We don't know if he can play. Yeah, he's very important. One of the crucial players this season next to Ziyech. But we don't know if he's going to be able to play 90 minutes in one go. So maybe this will be just a build-up going forward.
Yeah, but this also solves a little bit our midfield, because then Martinez can then push up, and we will have a better midfield now.
More how
stable.
better? How stable in what area you mean?
I mean, Martinez, he really defends well in front of the defenders, and he has also a pass, like not only sideways passes but also to the front. So you will have on every line, if Ziyech is back, Ziyech, Blind and Martinez that can give a pass forward, which makes Ajax already very dangerous.
All right. Okay. Going to the next topic, Serginho Dest.
Yeah.
This week, it became evident that Bayern Munich is very interested in Serginho Dest, and they already contacted Ajax during the winter.
For the summer, right?
Before the winter break, yeah. So now it's for the summer. And, rumors are that they want to buy Serginho Dest for around 26 million euros. And latest news is that what we heard is that actually Ajax is open for negotiations, which for me is a surprise. I'm just wondering what your stance is regarding this topic.
Yeah, also surprised because I'm a fan of Dest, and I think he's better than Mazraoui at the moment at that position. I don't know if Ajax has really backups from the youth, or they need to buy somebody if they sell him. But Dest hasn't proven himself yet for Ajax. We didn't really enjoy his moments of greatness for one season. So why let him go so
because
fast?
this is the first season, right, of Dest really coming forward.
Exactly.
And showing himself.
And even in this season, he's not playing every match. So not like Tagliafico does, for instance.
So why do you think Ajax is open for negotiations?
The only reason I can think of is maybe they already have other options in the youth that can play that position.
But the only other option that I know from the youth is Quinten Timber, maybe. And of course you have Mazraoui, but Mazraoui actually you have to really go and think. Mazraoui is a young player, is in the radar scouting list of certain teams as well. Last summer there were some teams already interested. So also this summer you run actually a possibility that also Mazraoui will be bought by another team, And you have to also think about, will Dest play at Bayern Munich? I don't think he's really ready to be the starting 11 in Bayern Munich. So is there a reason for him to leave? I would say no. I would say just play another season at Ajax, show what you're capable of, and other options will come. But if Dest said to Ajax he wants to leave, then Ajax cannot do anything. But there's something I don't understand, right, in this discussion as well. I mean, of course, Bayern Munich is a huge team. A lot of players dream about playing for this team as well. But in the case of Dest and also other young players, why do they feel the urgency to leave Ajax so early? I mean, I thought Ajax used to have this problem a couple of years ago, but now I kind of see the trend shifting into getting older players like Blind like Tadic, those kind of players. And you see Ziyech. Ziyech is one of the best players of the Eredivisie, best player at Ajax, can easily play in the Premier League. But he's 27, 26. Why don't other players take that as an example and think, you know what, let me be a good player, a very good player at Ajax first before I make my move?
Good question.
I'm asking you that question.
Yeah, I cannot answer it. I mean, look, Ziyech is also...
because it's not like he's not getting any playtime either. He's actually getting more playtime now than Mazraoui.
But did Ziyech get an option to play in a foreign team?
Of course.
No, but he has certain values. He doesn't want to play for any team. He wants to play for a team that can go for titles and go for...
he wants to play for a big team.
Yeah, there was
That's
a Sevilla offer.
Yeah, but the Sevilla offer was personal, so he didn't go there because it was the same technical director as the one at Roma the year before that wanted to buy him. So that's another discussion.
Yeah, other discussion, but still,
and then
that's a bump up for him either. Like, you can stay at Ajax instead of Sevilla. Sevilla is playing, I think, Europa League, and Ajax is playing Champions League. So
Europa League now, but
now, but we started in Champions League. Look, I don't think everybody can walk the path of Ziyech, but also it's dangerous to go so young to a big team. It requires a winner's mentality and a lot of confidence. If you want to
let me ask you one question. Do you think Dest is ready to play at Bayern Munich?
No.
Do you think Dest should stay here?
Yeah.
All right. So we did a poll actually, guys, on Instagram and Twitter, asking you guys, what do you think? You think Serginho Dest should stay, or do you think I should sell him? Interesting enough, on Instagram, most people voted that Dest should be sold, and on Twitter, actually, it was the other way around. A lot of people said, no, actually, he should stay at Ajax and we should extend his contract and he should get more playing time. You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So, last thing, moving on to this Wednesday.
Also, what I wanted to say, by the way,
go ahead.
Even though you sell Dest, you don't know what you're bringing back. So, if you don't have youth, if you don't have youth, you can bring a right back,
wing back,
right wing back, Marin type that you thought was amazing, but doesn't do anything for you.
But that's the thing, I think you have to really be careful with the players from the youth academy that start in the first team and still have a lot of potential to grow.
Exactly.
Not to sell them so early,
Correct.
Because it's very hard to find good players abroad to fill in the shoes, and play the way Ajax wants to play.
And we'll learn the way of Ajax in a fast tempo,
exactly.
Like Martinez did, for instance.
True.
But I also want to say one more thing. We had some issues with the players that are leaving before, like De Ligt, Frankie de Jong. We were scared that if they leave, we're not going to able to get the right players anymore. I think Ajax did pretty good this season, even though we lost them. But if I look at the amount of transfers and amount of players we're going to lose this summer, I'm kind of scared for next season.
Yeah, but that's speculation, because I don't think Ajax will sell older players.
No, but you already know Ziyech will leave. Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think we can
possibly, yes, possibly it will happen. But it has to be a good offer, and it has to be a team that really gives them the right playing time.
Donny van de Beek, you think we can
probably. But look, I don't see Ajax selling more than 4 players, 4 starting 11 players. I mean,
I think 6 players will leave. Bet?
Yeah, sure.
Because we already have Ziyech, Donny, Dest. And Onana we're talking about.
Okay.
So,
all right. We'll see. It's now too early to tell, but let's see. So this Wednesday, we're playing for the Dutch Cup against Vitesse.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, do you take this game seriously in the sense that, hold on. Do you take this game seriously in the sense that this is a Dutch Cup, you can win a prize, you can play... I see people laughing all around me now.
Yeah.
And how would you play against Vitesse? Would you go all out with the strongest squad, or would you play a couple of youth players as well?
I always like the combination of experienced and young. But it is the Dutch Cup. As I said before, I think Ajax should use the Dutch Cup to put in the players you want to see from the youth if they are capable of playing in the first team. And I think Gravenberch should play. Eiting should play. Ekkelenkamp should play. Those are the players I want to see in the cup.
But why? I mean, you run a risk if you play with the young players that you will be eliminated.
Okay.
Okay, what? Okay.
To be honest, I said this before in previous games. For me, Europa League is important. Dutch League is important. The cup isn't that important to me. And okay, it's fun if we win it, but I'd rather see them in the finals of the Europa League. I'd rather see them number one.
Of course.
And if I had to choose for fitness levels to be up during the games for the Premier League, to skip some of the experienced players and put more young, I will go for the more.
How about just going for everything?
Yeah, that's a nice topic, but to have, you can go for everything, but it's also kind of. Naive,
Why wouldn't we? Because last year, semi-final Champions League, we won the Dutch Cup, we won the Dutch League.
About the injuries.
No, I didn't complain.
I didn't complain. How many injuries
you.
Ajax have?
No, I asked you about the injuries,
okay.
And I told you that we have a series of injuries.
Yeah.
And I asked you also, I mean, what do you think? How is it possible? But it doesn't have to do with the fact that we have a lot of games, because you actually contradict. So you would hold on. Yeah. You just said. It's an excuse from Ten Hag, but it's not a valid excuse because he has a lot of players he can rotate, and that are good enough that can show themselves like youth players.
Isn't the cup then the perfect platform to put in those players?
Yeah, but the way you're saying it right now is that you want all the youth players to play.
No, that's not what I said. I said as a start, I like a mix, but only the players that are 100% fit, there's nothing going wrong, they may play. But for me now, if I look at the score of Getafe against Valencia, yeah, then I want my best 11 in the Europa League, and I don't want my best 11 in the cup.
All right, good, point taken. What will be your starting 11 going to the Vitesse game this Wednesday?
Tagliafico, Martinez, Schuurs, Dest. Midfield, Eiting, Gravenberch, Ekkelenkamp. Ziyech back?
No, I don't think so.
Neres back?
I don't think so.
No. Then Tadic from the side, Traore and Promes, Babel also not back?
Babel probably.
Then Babel.
Yeah, Promes is not back. He's out for a few weeks still. And Onana in goal, I guess.
Of course.
All right.
Best keeper in the world, of course.
All right. But still you want us to win, right?
Yeah, I prefer them winning everything. But I think a youth team of Ajax can also win from Vitesse, to be honest. So
I think you're underestimating Vitesse a little bit. But all right. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Anytime,
thank you for your opinion. Guys, thank you for watching. Please let us know in the descriptions below. We have a question for you, whether you think Dest should stay at Ajax or leave to Bayern Munich, or that Ajax should sell him in that particular manner. And be sure to watch us, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you on Wednesday for a game talk. Bye, guys.